What a weekend for college football. The television networks had a great weekend. After an abysmal summer where ratings were in the pooper and the only draw ESPN could rely on to draw decent ratings was Caitlin Clark. After an abysmal summer, college football returns and it delivers massive ratings for the networks. Over 5 million people tuned in Thursday night to watch the beginning of the end of Colorado's season. It was a great weekend for me personally, and I hope you enjoyed your long weekend too. I took a much needed break. Today is the last official day of summer. Weather is supposed to start cooling off later this week, and you know that puts Uncle KC in a great mood. It was a great weekend for Caitlin Clark as she continued to prove why she is the most valuable player in the WNBA. Well, Casey, that's not true. Asia Wilson was amazing this weekend. She scored 41 points. Yeah, and there were 41 people watching her do it. No disrespect to AJ Wilson. She is a dominant player in a league filled with pretend basketball players. But in terms of overall value, Caitlin Clark is without a doubt the most valuable player in the WNBA. Everyone seemed to have a great weekend this weekend besides cackling Cam Harris. The weekend started very rough for Commander Cam with her disastrous interview Thursday night with the Cemetery News Network. An interview that was conducted by a woman named Dana who, for reasons unknown, prefers to be called Dana. The cackles and fake laughter, they were silenced again yesterday after ABC released their latest poll. According to ABC, Commander Cam is leading Orange Man Bad 50-46. Woohoo! This is great! Hold the wiener. There is no need for the butt bongo celebration just yet. The problem here for Cam Harris, she did not see a bump in the polls after her coronation as Lord and Risen Queen that the mainstream media presented to the public as the Democratic National Convention. Normally, candidates, they will see their poll numbers go up after the convention, but not Cam Harris, though. No! For some reason, the polls remain unchanged. I wonder why. To make matters even worse, Cam's brilliant plan to use Gold Star military families to denigrate the Trumper, that plan backfired. The explosion was louder than the powerful winds of the Boodle Breeze after Whoopi Goldberg devours her morning beans. Beans, I like 'em refried. It makes Boodle Breeze come out my backside. Whoopee! If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Last week, the Trumper, he carved out time in his schedule to visit Arlington National Cemetery to honor the fallen soldiers who lost their lives 3 years ago in that disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. There have been a lot of disasters in the administration of John Biden. Hell, it started before he even won the election when he selected a professional cackler as pretend vice president. Now, if you were selecting someone to sit in the audience of the Daily Show of Failure on Comedy Central and you needed someone qualified to laugh on command at shitty jokes, Cam Harris overqualified. But when you're selecting someone to potentially run the country, when you're selecting someone to potentially command the military, even though her nickname is Commander Cam, I think most of us can agree that Cam Harris isn't the most qualified for the job. But the Trumper, he visits Arlington Cemetery last week to honor fallen soldiers and their families. In her infinite brilliance, Cam Harris decided to turn this visit into an opportunity to denigrate the Trumper. What a loser. He doesn't care about our military. He's only doing this for political reasons. I'm pretty sure Trump already has the support of most in the military. He doesn't need to crash a memorial to gain favor with him. Cam also insinuated that Trump was using the military for publicity, since he struggles to get publicity all on his own. If you were to believe Cam Harris and her pretend friends in the mainstream media, you would think that Donald Trump crashed the ceremony. Instead of honoring fallen soldiers, Trump turned this into an event that honored fallen oranges. There was just one problem here for Cam Harris, one small problem. Just like the rest of her campaign, this narrative, it was a complete illusion. I guess Cam forgot that these fallen soldiers had families and those families had the ability to speak. As it turns out, the Trumper, he didn't crash the ceremony. He simply accepted an invitation that was given to him by the families of the fallen soldiers. Watch for yourself.
Kamala, your statement is nothing more than a political spin to help you look better in your presidential campaign against Donald Trump. You have never walked a single day in our shoes.
Vice President Harris, my name is Christy Shamblin. We welcome President Donald J. Trump to Arlington to lay a wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier with our family and to visit Nicole graveside. President Trump and his team were respectful. They listened to our stories and didn't talk much at all. We welcomed them that day and they were comfort to our family. Vice President Harris, I ask you, why won't you return a call and explain to us how you call my daughter-in-law's death a success?
Here we are on a beautiful holiday weekend day. I got to stop what I'm doing, spending time with what's left of my family, to address a heinous, vile, and disgusting post put out by Kamala Harris.
It doesn't get more damning than that. This went on for about 5 minutes, with family after family refuting the baseless claims of Cam Harris. I thought the most damning remark came from Christy Shamblin. She was criticizing Kamala Harris for calling the withdrawal from Afghanistan a success. I'm struggling to understand what was so successful about it. Billions of dollars in weaponry was left behind. They were literally parading around with it in the streets. 13 soldiers lost their lives. Many believe that this failed withdrawal sent a signal to the rest of the world. Many believe it showed the absolute weakness of Johnny B. Biden. Given the conflicts in Ukraine and Israel that followed, kinda hard to refute that point. So, I'm struggling to understand how Cam Harris considers this to be a success. What the hell was so successful about it? I'm also struggling to understand how Cam Harris is still leading Donald Trump in the polls. Even Rasmussen, which had Trump ahead by, I think it was 4 points a couple of weeks ago, they now had the Trumper ahead by 2. Of course, polls conducted by the woke media, they've got Commander Cam in the lead. The question is, how? How is the most unpopular vice president in modern history beating a candidate that is extremely popular with half the country? Even with her momentum stalling, Cam is still leading by 4 points. Now, normally, I don't put too much stock into presidential debates. Can they be impactful? Sure, but by the time we get to September, October, unless something drastic happens in the debate, I think most people have already made up their minds. So, the debates, normally they're just for show. They're meant to be entertaining. But this debate next week on ABC, I think this debate is going to have a monumental impact on the election. For starters, it will be the first time that a lot of people in the country will be introduced to Cam Harris. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people who have no idea who in the hell she is. However, this debate, it is less about Cam Harris and more about Donald Trump. This debate is extremely important for the Trumper. Matter of fact, I think it could make or break him, because I don't know if Cam Harris is going to agree to participate in another debate. I know for damn sure she is not agreeing to a debate on Fox News. I mean, God forbid Cam agrees to appear on a network that isn't worshiping her. According to ABC's latest poll, even though Cam is slightly ahead of the Trumper, most of the country, they still don't trust her when it comes to the key issues. Trump leads by wide margins when it comes to inflation, crime, foreign policy, the economy, or as George Bush used to call it, the economer. Trump leads by a wide margin when it comes to the southern border. Hey, it's me, Cammie. That doesn't make sense to me. I visited the southern border one time. I helped inflate the rafts to make sure undocumented migrants could safely cross the river. Yippee! Even though Trump is trusted on issues that actually matter, he continues to struggle with women and some independent voters. This debate next week, it is his chance to change the narrative. Problem for Trump? It's the same problem he had in 2020, and ironically enough, it's what got him elected in 2016. His biggest problem is his mouth. The reason he looked so great in that debate against Johnny B. Biden, besides the fact that a mime would look competent standing next to Johnny B., but the reason the Trumper looked great against Johnny B., his mic was being controlled. Even though it made for a painfully boring debate, CNN controlling the mics, it actually worked in Trump's favor. He was only given a couple of minutes, which made him stick to the point. He wasn't able to ramble off point. That is not going to be the case next week. Make no mistake about it. This is Donald Trump's debate to lose. He has more experience in these settings, and Cam Harris, she is completely incompetent when talking about the issues. I mean, her plan to fix inflation is to implement price controls, which will cause inflation to be even higher. Cam Harris has been alive for almost 60 years, 6 decades. And she has failed to create a single job. Donald Trump created thousands of jobs. All he has to do to win this debate, maintain your composure. All he's got to do to win the debate, exercise your right to remain silent. Let Cam Harris do all the talking. Let Cam describe her plan to ruin the country. If Donald Trump can maintain his composure and keep the personal insults to a minimum, and when I say minimum, I mean 0. If he can do that and stay focused on the issues, Donald Trump will easily win this debate and the election. Question is, can he do it? You tell me. Also, give me your thoughts on Cam Harris getting destroyed by Gold Star military families. I thought it was ironic. She was accusing Trump of politicizing the ceremony, which is exactly what she did when she criticized him for accepting the invitation. Maybe Cam was bitter because she didn't get invited. Give me your thoughts. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys later.